Let's talk about weddings and how insanely overpriced, in my opinion, they are, and react to a few videos together. Now, on average in Australia, couples are typically paying anywhere from $30,000 to $35,000. Now, there is varying depending factors such as like their guest list size, the location of the venue, etc., etc. But that in itself is an insane figure. I do think weddings are a great way to get family, friends, and just loved ones in general together and have an amazing time. I think it's a memory that you would never forget. But the costs associated with weddings are just crazy. I don't know if I could even justify paying $30,000 to $35,000 on a wedding. Without further ado, let's watch this first video together.
I'm a 2026 bride. Me and my fiance just had a discussion about where we're at in regards to wedding costs. And we're both trying to figure out, how do we get to this number? It's like you can't even have like the most basic wedding without spending at least $30,000.
Isn't that just so crazy? $30,000. That could be an amazing house deposit. That could be a newer car or a new car in some circumstances, depending on obviously what you want. But that is just so much money. And I feel like anytime you mention the word wedding to a makeup artist, to a catering venue, they just hike up the prices. And I don't understand how and why we are meant to just accept that. Like, oh yeah, it's a wedding, so it's just what it is. It's like, is it though? Like, do you really have to charge that much? This video is a girl who was quoted an insane amount for food. Let's have a look at this together.
I was quoted $45,000 food and beverage minimum for 25 people. We all know the wedding industry is insane, but I don't think we realize how crazy it is until you actually start planning things. So like a month ago, I didn't want a wedding. Now I am having a wedding. But when I didn't want a wedding, I just wanted a small, intimate ceremony and a dinner with my family, which was a group of 25 people. So I was inquiring in places that would be able to hold my ceremony and also provide a little intimate dinner. However, I received a, proposal saying our food and beverage minimums range between $45,000 to $75,000 plus 25% service charge and sales tax in season. I can go to the nicest restaurant in Miami and pay a fraction of that. And I mean, when I got this email, I was like, no, she obviously added an extra zero. Like, there's no way. This is just food and beverage. This didn't include the ceremony costs, didn't include florals, didn't include anything else except food and beverage. Stay safe out there.
That is absolute BS. Anywhere from $45K to $75K, and that's not including any taxes or whatever else they were adding on, plus 25%. Sorry? For food? For 25 people? That is just ridiculous.
No way. Shut up. You are. Why should I? I'll get stuffed.
This next video is a girlie sharing her opinion on weddings.
I am predicting it now. In 2 years, weddings are going to be non-existent. They are literally going to be extinct, just like the dinosaurs. The reason being is because people cannot afford it. Literally, the prices are astronomical.
I don't disagree with her, that's for sure. I think she definitely has a point. I think as a society, we are starting to realize and value the dollar more because of the current state of the economy. And I totally understand why we are being like this, because we shouldn't just be giving our hard-earned money out just free willy-nilly. I feel like we just need to be more mindful of what we're spending our money on, and if we can save costs. This next girl is sharing her budget breakdown for the wedding.
Here's a budget breakdown of our main wedding costs for our May 2024 wedding in Southeast Queensland. This isn't a full budget, but covers our biggest expenses to help you understand some costs of getting married. Our main expense was our beautiful venue, which was $21,000 for 80 people, which included canapes, entree and main, and a $4,000 bar tab, which covered the whole night. Styling and stationery was $1,770, which included all of our big floral arrangements, candles, on-the-day stationery, and my DIY pieces. Our celebrant was only $400 because he's a friend and colleague of mine. Makeup for myself myself, 3 bridesmaids, and my mum was $1,300. Our bouquets were $800 for 4 bouquets and 4 buttonholes with white Colombian roses, which were done by a local florist. Our accommodation, which was for the whole bridal party the night before and just us the night of the wedding, was $1,490. Our photographer cost us $3,600, which was 9 hours plus a free engagement shoot. Videographer, we went cheap because we didn't know if we wanted one. This was $1,500, and our content creator was $700 because I got raw footage only so I could edit everything myself. Our DJ was $720, and yes, our wedding was worth every single cent. So let me know what else you want to see a cost breakdown of.
So that was pretty well, close to maybe $30,000. I don't know why you need a content creator, a photographer, and a videographer, but it's your wedding. You do whatever you want. It's also your money. So, you know, I just don't understand why you'd need all of those. Photographers are so expensive. I understand you should be getting paid for your time, but that is so much money. Nearly $4,000. What? And then I know there was a couple of them getting makeup, but $1,300 for makeup that you're just going to scrub off your face. This is why I don't fully understand weddings. I think they're so amazing, you know, create the best memories like I've mentioned, but so much money for one day. And I know that you'll like never forget it. Next, watch this video of a woman who decided to have an untraditional wedding.
Everyone is going crazy over this bride's untraditional wedding. Rather than paying the venue's expensive catering fees, she simply ordered a bunch of pizzas. To bring both families together, she set up wedding games to get them competing. Since she hated cake, she settled for wedding donuts instead. She also printed QR codes for guests to scan, which opened a camera on their phones without downloading anything. Every photo taken was instantly uploaded to a shared album for everyone to enjoy. She said she used an app called POV to make it all happen.
I think with weddings, it's more about the people and who you're surrounded with and celebrating such an amazing day with, more than how much money I can spend and how much I can flaunt my wedding online to other people or try and one-up someone else. Like, it's your wedding. If you're more worried about what it's going to look like and how good it's going to look on social media, more than the wedding itself with your partner who you're marrying and committing to for the rest of your life, then I don't personally know if you're getting married for the right reasons, because honestly, it's more about you and your partner just loving each other and committing to one another and having the people that you care the most around you. I really liked that idea of, you know, just getting pizzas. That's feeding everyone, can't complain. And the scanner QR code that guests could share photos with is such a cute idea, and again, something that you'll have forever in the memory bank, and you won't and can't forget it because photos just are so great to have. And I've seen how much some cakes can cost. I love that they just did donuts. Why not? If you don't like cake, what's the point in having a cake? And everyone generally likes donuts, so yeah, I think that was a great idea. Way cheaper alternative. And I've heard to cut cakes at weddings, it can be thousands of dollars just to get that done in itself. That's so ridiculous. This next video is showing the reactions of guests arriving at this wedding venue. It does look very gorgeous. So it says, POV, your video team films the reactions of your guests as they arrive at the wedding dinner. And as you can see, like, everyone's just like, no way. I mean, yeah, the venue looked insanely gorgeous. I don't know if those are cherry blossoms or like inspired to be, but that view was insane. Like, are you joking? I would love to know how much that venue costs and the whole cost of a wedding, actually. This girl is sharing her opinions on 2025 and 2026 girls who are becoming brides.
I'm feeling so bad for the girls who are, no, the girls and the fiancés who are 2025 and 2026 brides. I'm feeling bad for the whole family, okay, at this point, because in today's day and time, every aspect of a wedding is so outrageously expensive. My friend reached out to a well-known makeup artist just to see like what the pricing would be. I'm not saying that, you know, if you provide a good service and you're well known, you're viral, whatever, you shouldn't charge high rates, make people pay for your travel, accommodations, that kind of thing. But these makeup artists and other vendors and venues are charging people literally what you could put, like, it's not even a down payment for a house. You could buy the whole fucking house. So her typical day rate is $25,000 starting out each travel day. Guys, that's just travel. It gets worse. Glam for the wedding day, $50,000. Right off the rip, we're spending $125,000, and we haven't even gotten to like travel accommodations or anything. The hotel has to be pre-approved. You have to pay for the transportation for the makeup artist and their assistant. That's just the base rate. This is just so shocking to me. So for fucking makeup, like, I get it, but $100,000 plus. I'm sorry, I can't. I will not be getting married.
And look, girl, I do not blame you if you don't want to get married. That is so off-putting. What do you mean it's going to cost me $100,000 plus, possibly, to get my makeup done?
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Like, what even is this? And I agree, like, yes, people should be getting paid for their time, and if they're well known and are well established, sure, but that amount of money is astronomical. Holy moly. Let me know in the comments, would you ever pay that amount for makeup? I know you're inclusive of like the accommodation and travel, but that's still so much money, in my opinion. This next video is a lady showing the 5 most expensive wedding venues. So let's look at this together.
If I was rich, here are 5 of the most expensive wedding venues that I might just consider. Starting off with this breathtaking one here, this is the Villa Babbiano in Lake Como, Italy. It goes for over $1 million for just one weekend wedding. This is one of Italy's most expensive and luxurious venues. I mean, look, it's right on the lake, it's super private, has a large villa, large gardens, and even has yacht and helicopter like services. Then we have the Plaza Hotel in New York. This goes $95,000 upwards for a wedding. It's located in the heart of Manhattan. I mean, it has that luxurious, old, timeless grand ballroom look. This is the epitome of like a lavish city wedding. Next, taking a quick trip back to Italy, this is the Old Sculci Castle. I'm definitely butchering the pronunciation of that. This goes for $50,000 up for a stunning 15th century castle located near Rome. It has that like historical elegance to it. It's on the castle grounds. You get to see those ancient towers, big ballrooms. It's also right on a lake. Then we have the Little Nell in Aspen, Colorado. This is a mountaintop wedding for over $100,000. I feel like that doesn't sound too little anymore. Take a gondola up to the mountain and then you just have that big backdrop of the Rockies in the back. That is so breathtaking. If you love the outdoors, nature, this is definitely for you. Last but definitely not least, this is La Cala Island in Fiji. You can get a private island wedding for $150,000 upwards. If you want an entire island to yourself for your wedding, this is the place to do it. I mean, you are in a tropical paradise surrounded by beaches and luxury villas, pools, amenities, and all that great stuff. I am so jealous for whoever gets to have their wedding here. If you had no budget, where would you want to have your wedding?
That's a really good question. If I was like rich, where would I want to have my wedding? I really think that Greece is gorgeous. Like, it is stunning. I haven't really traveled to other countries yet, so I don't really know where else, but I really do like the thought of Greece. Those prices for the venues were crazy. I mean, I like the idea of Fiji and having a whole island to yourself. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Drop a comment below. Let me know what one you liked the most out of those 5. I really did like Lake Como, but I think she said that was like $1 million, which is like, what? And I really liked the idea of, yeah, the whole island for Fiji. That was cool too. So this next video is saying POV, you cancel your traditional wedding and decide to secretly elope instead. That view was breathtaking. Oh my goodness, it looked gorgeous. And I've heard it must be a trend that people are just eloping instead of having like a wedding, and I can totally understand why. It's like more private and very much cost effective, obviously depending on how you do it and where, but seems a lot more budget friendly, which is great. This next lady is trying on her wedding dress for her cancelled wedding.
If there's anyone out there that wants to buy my wedding dress from my cancelled wedding, let me know. The time has come for me to sell my wedding dress from my cancelled wedding. If you want the tea on why I cancelled my wedding, is because my husband and I decided we didn't want a wedding. And you're probably wondering, you just said husband, so you obviously did get married. We ended up eloping. We decided that a wedding was just not for us. We had only booked the venue, like the reception venue, and I had only gotten a dress. So thank God we didn't book anything else before we realized what we actually wanted. But yeah, I did purchase a wedding dress, not the one that I wore for my elopement. I wore a completely different dress. Selling it on Still White, probably. But yeah, I thought I would just have some fun and try it on for one last time. This feels so weird, but yeah, this is the dress. Obviously it is unaltered, so it doesn't really fit me properly. Yeah, it has a slit in the leg, and my favorite part was the pockets. It does have a train as well. I was planning to take off the train. My favorite part was probably the back. I'm too scared to do it up all the way because I am home alone, but this is the dress. This feels so weird. We 100% do not regret eloping. It was the best decision ever. Would do it again. If you were thinking of eloping, do it. Okay, I should probably take this off now because I want it to be crisp and unworn, obviously.
I actually really liked the dress. I think the slit up the side was so pretty, and I liked it was kind of like backless. I see what she means by she liked the back as well. It also must be a trend to have like pockets in the dress, because I've seen a few like that as well, so that's a pretty cool idea. This is another video of a couple sharing why they cancelled their wedding.
A wedding update.
We've changed our minds. We're doing something different.
We picked a beautiful venue. We had set a budget, and
we did all the things right that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't know if we did them all right, but we tried, you know,
we did.
Not knowing,
we were like really on it.
Not knowing what we were doing. And we set a budget for the food and for the catering companies, and then we started getting quotes, and it was just, you know, it was
astronomical.
Yeah, it was intense. Did we make it work? Sure. Is it a sound decision? No, absolutely not. It's just not. You know?
If I've always been like go big or go home, like we're gonna make it work, like do the thing, like have the experience, like go all out. My whole 20s, that was how I made my choices, and I don't regret any of it. Like I truly loved my 20s so much. But as I turn 30 this year, and as I get married this year, and we start to think about our family and what our future looks like, it was like really empowering for me to say, actually on this, I'm gonna think twice. And I'm not only making this decision for me, and Trevor's not only making this decision for him, like we're making this decision for our family and for the type of life that we wanna have together. And that felt really empowering.
We're just not inherently rich. We're just not, you know, so we can't.
But we're working to get there.
Right. But we're trying to, but again, we're trying to build
wealth.
Yeah, we're trying to build something together, and we're going to be, you know, in Northern Idaho for the first day of fall.
It's our destination wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Excited to share more of the process with you all. I think so is Trevor, right?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is my favorite thing to do.
I think that's so sweet. I love the reasons why they decided to cancel the wedding. You do have to think of your family. One of the leading causes to divorces is financial difficulties and disagreements. I don't personally see why I would be going into a marriage having lots and lots of debt accumulated because of having a wedding. I don't think that is a great start. And when they mentioned their family, like when they do have kids in the future, the last thing that I would personally want to feel is something over my head because of how much debt we have from a wedding, when we could just get eloped, for example, and not have it be as expensive as a wedding. I really liked that hot take. I think it's great. and I love that for them. They seemed so happy about their decision, and the fact that they're working together on this is amazing and just shows that when you are planning a wedding, it is about you two as a couple. Like, you love each other, you want to commit. It's just, do you really want to do a wedding, or do you want to do it something else? And that's the best thing, it is your choice. This next video is a lady sharing why she cancelled her wedding in Italy and how it was the best decision.
After touring venues, spending countless hours picking my venue, picking my wedding planner, picking a caterer, picking a florist, picking a DJ, and obviously spending thousands of dollars going there to do all of those things, I canceled the Italy wedding. Reason number one, the wedding started to feel like a production and not a wedding. Because we were getting married so far away, we kept having this pressure to entertain our guests and add more wedding events and do more for our guests. And the word guest experience started coming out of my mouth so much, I started feeling like, am I putting on a wedding or am I putting on a show? And something about that just didn't feel right. And I was like, this wedding is supposed to be about two people getting married, not this, it's not supposed to be Cirque du Soleil. Reason number two, it just felt really selfish. I'm sure there's a happy medium, and that's what I'm trying to find. I really want to have a destination wedding, so I'm just trying to find a destination that's easier to get to now. I don't want to be incredibly selfish and all the way on the other end of the spectrum, where just to attend my wedding, you have to buy a $1,600 flight to get there, because I live in Texas. A lot of my guests live in Texas, and flying to Italy in the summer months is very expensive. Reason number three, there's just a lot of economic uncertainty right now. Ever since we've gotten back from our trip in February to tour venues to now, there's been a lot of fluctuation in the US dollar against the euro. And just looking at our wedding fund and putting it in euros, we've lost thousands of dollars because of currency risk. And I don't want to deal with that. No reason is that it just didn't feel right. We fell in love with a wedding venue in Lake Como, specifically Villa del Balbianello. The Lake Como wedding did not feel on brand. It did not feel like who I am as a person, because I have no real emotional attachment to Lake Como. One thing I know for sure is that Lake Como has gained a lot of popularity over the recent years, and I was beginning to wonder if getting married in Lake Como is popular because it's beautiful, or if getting married in Lake Como is popular because it comes with bragging rights. I have been fortunate enough to have seen many beautiful places in my life. I don't know how many countries I've been to, but a lot. And I mean, that's such a privileged thing to be able to say. And I will say that Lake Como is very, very pretty. It's beautiful. It's stunning. One of the prettiest places I've seen. But there are a lot of other places to get married that are just as beautiful. And I think the Lake Como wedding has more to do with bragging rights than it actually has to do with intent. And I want my wedding to feel intentional. I want it to feel authentic. And I want it to feel on brand. As cheesy and as, I don't know, awful as that sounds, I want my wedding to feel on brand. I want people to come to my wedding and feel like this feels like Muntaha's wedding. This is where Munti would get married. That's what I want it to feel like. And Lake Como did not feel like that, especially because if you know me in real life, I'm not the type of person that wants to inconvenience all my friends and have them spend thousands of dollars on me just because I have this idea that I should get married in Lake Como. That's not who I am as a person, and it just did not feel right.
I love that she listened to herself and what felt right for her and decided not to go through with it, because you just don't want to regret such a big day. And I love that she's trying to make it as accessible for her guests and make it feel right for herself as well and her partner. It is such a big day in itself, and the last thing that you want to feel is weighed down by thoughts of regret or thoughts of, is this right? So yeah, I definitely think that she made the right decision if she didn't feel like it was the right fit, to just cancel it and try and look for something that is more aligned to her. It is crazy watching the currency differences as well when you convert it. I think Australian to Euro is not great. That's all the videos we have today, so thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate having you here. If you do want to join the fam, don't forget to subscribe. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and comment below. Have you had a wedding already? Have you looked into the possibility of a wedding? I personally don't know if I would want a wedding in this current climate. I think it's insanely overpriced, and as soon as you say the word wedding, they're like, oh, okay, let's just chuck on like $5,000 extra just because of that word. And I just don't understand why it's like that. Have an amazing rest of your night or day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.